Welcome to the third episode of the Art of Travel show. In this episode, we're going to talk about addictions and not just addictions. We're going to talk about why traveling is so addicting. I'm going to talk about, why people who catch a travel bug normally become addicted to travel for the rest of their life. And that's what happened to me. We started traveling 21 years ago, and since then we cannot stop. Why traveling is so addicting? In order to answer that question, I need to go back and I need to explain psychology behind addiction, any addiction in fact. Let's talk about human needs. Why do we want certain things? Why do we want certain experiences? Physical objects, relationships. Everything is connected. We don't want things just because we want them. There are significant psychological triggers, anchors, whatever you want to call it, that create that desire. And in this video, I want to quickly cover those anchors, those psychological basics, and then I'm going to talk about why traveling specifically is so addicting. We all have needs. We all have certain needs. In fact, if you group them together, you will see that there are 6 human needs that every single human has. Need number 1 is need for certainty. Certainty is what we all need, is what we all crave. And just to give you an idea, example of certainty could be a roof over your head. Some people use working 9 to 5 to satisfy their need for certainty. The second need is, surprisingly, or maybe not surprisingly, a need for uncertainty. So you're saying, how come we have need for certainty and now we have a need for uncertainty? That's truth. This is the world of duality we live in. We all need uncertainty as well. I mean, who doesn't like surprises, right? The next one, the third need we all have, is a need for love and connection. And that's why, the saying, people cannot survive in isolation. We're all social creatures. We cannot survive on our own. We need this love. We need this connection with other human beings. The next need is need for significance. Again, every person will meet that need in different way, but one way, a very popular way to meet that need, especially here in North America, is by having a career growth. When you have a title, when you have a certain status, that boosts the significance, and that meets lots of people needs in this particular area. Now, the previous 4 needs that I mentioned, again, a need for certainty, need for uncertainty, need for love and connection, and finally need for significance. Those are the primary needs. Everyone needs them. Absolutely every person on this planet has those needs. Now, the following 2 needs, some people can live their entire life without that need, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's just some people don't, get to that level. They're satisfied with what they have. But for certain people, they also have 2 more needs. Next need number 5, is need for growth. And that's include growth physically, psychologically, spiritually. Essentially, people who want to develop themselves and constantly improve. Okay, so that's need for growth. The next need is need for contribution. Many of us want to contribute to the society, want to dedicate our life helping other people. So it's not only about ourselves, it's about other people, helping the society. So this is the 6th need for contribution. And now that we have all those needs, let's talk about traveling. Let's talk about how travel meets those needs. And at the end of this video, I want to share with you another insight that will be very important when you investigating and trying to understand why certain things are as addictive as they are. And to be honest, these 6 needs that I talked about and that insight that I want to share with you at the end of this video could be used for any addiction, whether this is a physical addiction like to sugar, to, I don't know, cocaine, or psychological addictions, or some emotional addictions. Some people have certain, emotional homes. They're always sad, they're always worried. This is all linked to our needs. All right, again, let's talk about travel. Why travel is so addicting? Well, let's go back to our needs. Let's look at each one of those 6 needs and see how those needs are met when we travel. All right, so the first need was need for certainty. When we travel, what kind of certainty we get from those travels? Well, I think that when we travel, especially when we travel more, we know for sure that we're going to get satisfaction from that upcoming trip, and that gives us sense of certainty. For women, for example, that gives them certainty that they don't have to cook, they don't have to, wash dishes, they don't have to take care of kids in the way they do at home normally, and therefore that gives them another type of satisfaction, another type of expectation that this is certain. We're not gonna cook, we're not gonna have to deal with meals, with dishes and so on. This alone is a very powerful anchor, especially as I mentioned, if you travel a lot, you create that expectation about your travel, and when you know that certain thing will happen or will not happen, then that starts feeding your need for certainty. Now the second need for uncertainty. How do you think travel feeds that uncertainty that we all need, that we all crave? Well, I think that one is a no-brainer, right? So when you travel, you see different cultures, you see different countries, and that itself is very uncertain. You don't know what to expect. You never know when you go to certain countries, and I'm not talking about going to all-inclusive trip in Mexico. This is basically you know what to expect unless this is your first time, but I'm talking about travel that challenges you, where you're going to exotic countries, to new countries. Definitely there will be a lot of uncertainties, and lots of people love it. Now I say lots of people love it because we all love uncertainty, but certain people have uncertainty on the higher, is a higher need for them. The next need we talked about is need for love and connection. And what kind of love and connection you think we get when we travel? Well, when we travel, we normally travel with our family, and dynamic of the relationship during travel is different when you're at home. And quite often people enjoy that because all of a sudden, they're spending more time with the families, they're having more insightful conversations, they're having great time. So that only improves your bonding, your relationship with your other family members. So therefore that feeds your need for love and connection, and therefore makes it even more addicting. The next one is need for significance. All right, so let's see what kind of significance we get from travel. Well, for some people, traveling means checking off boxes, right? And the more countries they travel, the more, I don't know, maybe you can say significant they feel. They may also feel significant because they also take their other family members with them, and therefore enhancing their life, the quality of their life. When we take kids with us, they learn so much more. I always say that kids learn so much more when they travel than in school. It also makes you feel significant because you're contributing to your kids, to the quality of their life, to their education. All right, let's keep moving. The next one is need for growth. We all need, some of us, as I mentioned, not everyone has need for growth, but for those of us who has this need for growth, travel is tremendous opportunity to grow because you experience something that you don't see in day-to-day life at home. You meet people from different backgrounds, you see different architecture, you try different food, and that enhances you as a human being, on all levels, spiritually, physically. You have to walk a lot there normally, and that contributes to your growth. You learn so much more, you see so much more. So definitely a great way to grow yourself personally is to travel. And last but not least, contribution. That's need number 6. So when we travel, I think we're contributing big time to, first of all, to the culture of those people, to those countries, like financially, right? You travel, you spend money, you enhance the economy of those places, and that's definitely a win-win situation. Now, contribution also comes from the fact that you're contributing to, I mentioned earlier, to other people who travel with you, right? You help them to grow, you help them to improve the quality of their life. So this is how we meet our needs when we travel. Now, remember I told you that I want to share with you an insight. So here's the thing, guys. We have the 6 needs, right? And everyone meets those needs differently, right? So just to give you an example, somebody want to be significant. I mentioned earlier, so the person goes and goes through career steps, career ladder, and then they achieve this tremendous success, from the financial perspective. So that feeds the need for significance. Now somebody else might meet the need for significance in a different way. They might, pull up a gun, put it to someone's head, and there you go. In a matter of seconds, they feel significant. So that's what I mean. Everyone meets those needs differently. So here's the insight. Out of 6 needs, if you have an activity that meets at least 3 of these needs, you have an addiction. And it doesn't matter which needs that activity meets, you have an addiction. And in the case of travel, as we talked about, when we travel, we feel certain because it's going to be fun. We feel uncertain because we don't know what to expect really. New country, new territory. We feel love and connection, obviously, because we travel with our close people, with our friends, with our family. We feel significant because we are conquering the world. We feel that we're growing, right? Because we're becoming a new human being with every connection, with every country, with every local food. We develop ourselves, and then we feel that we contribute to the society, to people who travel with us. So it's very easy to satisfy all 6 of our needs when we travel. So then, no surprise that it's very addicting. And the great thing about this is a great way to be addicted, right? Instead of being addicted to bad stuff like drinking and smoking and food in a bad way, you feel addicted to traveling. So I hope you enjoyed this video about traveling, about being addicted to travel. And I'd like to hear from you, first of all, if you feel that you are addicted to travel or getting addicted with every trip. And also I want to hear from you is when, at what step, at what stage in your life you felt that you're getting that addiction. Definitely let me know. I'm gonna go over all the comments. I love hearing from you guys. And if you enjoyed this video, if you're not subscribed to my channel yet, please do so. Subscribe to my channel to see more videos about travel, more videos about us traveling around the world, and definitely connect with me on social media. I have accounts on Instagram and Facebook. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll talk to you next week because every single week I have a new video coming up on my channel. Take care.